Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing On the Fly by J. Jack. I hope you enjoy this review. This trick is relatively unknown to the magic community, and let's get into it. What is On the Fly by J. Jack? On the Fly is an ebook with 3 incredible tricks. We'll get into those because I'll be doing a deep dive into each trick as well as a performance. Just so everyone knows, I just wanted to get this out there. J. Jack's ebooks have a money back guarantee. This is really awesome. So if you buy an ebook and you really hate it, you'll get your money back. But I don't think you're gonna hate his ebook because his ebooks are pretty good. In addition, J. Jack is putting on an extra special sale. If you buy this ebook, you get a credit to buy another one of his ebooks. And he has some interesting ebooks, and I'm saying that honestly. I put a link in the description below where you can purchase this effect from J. Jack. So let's get into the review. First, I'd like to talk about what you get. You get an ebook, no video, but an ebook from J. Jack. It's 14 pages, and it teaches you the 3 effects. And each of the 3 effects are essentially J. Jack's variations, which are completely impromptu, no setup, no gimmicks, of marketed effects. And these marketed effects come from Zarrow, David Jonathan, and even John Bannon. Boom. So these effects are legendary. You can already tell because it's essentially impromptu versions of famous magicians' effects that are really powerful. And he's taken these effects and made them even more practical because they have no setup, no gimmicks, and the tricks are all sleight of hand. And the sleight of hand's easy. Some tricks require no sleight of hand for that matter. Now, if you are a beginner magician, you'll likely have a little bit of trouble with some of the terminology in the ebook. And this is because some of the terminology, while most of it is extremely well taught, some of the terminology is just referenced. For example, if I say riffle shuffle, this isn't one of the examples, it's just an example I'm coming up with on the spot. For example, he may say, do a riffle shuffle with the cards. Then, if you don't know what a riffle shuffle is, you'll have to either look for what it means in books, such as this one, or just search on YouTube and find terminology there. And I looked through all of it. I searched it on YouTube. There are so many tutorials for each of the sleights, even the ones that are well explained by J. Jack. However, I don't know how a beginner magician would somehow stumble upon J. Jack's website without actually searching for it. So yeah, I feel like if you're an intermediate magician and you know how to handle cards, even if you don't know the moves taught, you can easily learn them if you have just a little bit of card skill. Also, one note is that after teaching each effect, J. Jack includes some notes on how to make your performance better, or some different ideas, which I really enjoy. Let's talk about a reverse border, which is based off of John Bannon's On the Border. That is a really great effect. And this reverse border has been, of the 3 tricks, my most well-received trick by my audiences. And it's no setup, as are all the tricks, and this has no sleight of hand, but just because it's super easy doesn't mean you shouldn't do this trick. So, you go through the deck, the magician does, and they pick out a prediction card, and you don't show the audience, but you reach in, take it out. Then they pick up a pile of about half the cards and name a number between 1 and 7. So let's say they say 4. They do 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of 2. Then after that, tell them to take the top card, put it face up on top of those cards, and put the rest on top. Then after that, you say, I want you to just deal pairs of 2 at a time, and essentially they can stop whenever. Let's say they stop there. Then you would go through the cards and tell them to take the face-up card as well as the 2 cards next to it. That's good. Then after that, tell them to get rid of the face-up card and that the 2 cards here will form 1 card. 1 will represent the value and 1 will represent the suit. So you show the value of the card will be a 6 and there's no switch there. And the suit will be a heart. And the prediction didn't have to match. They had the deck the whole time. If they did 1 more or 1 less pair, nothing would have worked. However, the 6 of hearts, because the 6 and then the hearts, they make the 6 of hearts. That is insane. And it's completely beginner. Let's talk about it. So yeah, the spectator handles the deck the whole entire time. And there's no sleight of hands. This has no angle issues, no setup, and it's easy. The tutorial's very easy to understand. And J-Jack chose a very good font. It's easy to read. And as well as that, the only thing with this trick, and I'm being very nitpicky here, but the only thing is, why do you have to turn over a face-up card? That's the only thing I have with this trick. But the notes are good after the tutorial, the effect is good, the teaching is good, the after teaching is good. I really love this effect. Now let's talk about the second trick, Impromptu Revolving Aces 3 by J-Jack. Let's get a performance of the Impromptu Revolving Aces 3. I usually do this in the middle of my ace routine because it doesn't require setup, so it can be placed anywhere. And I usually start out with the ace routine with an ace production that does require setup, which is either Harappan Ong's ace production in optics or Alex Pandrea's this, where you can produce all 4 aces with essentially no sleight of hand. Actually, there is sleight of hand in that, but there is setup. So that's why I do that production first, or I do Harappan Ong's production, then I start out this effect. So the effect goes like this. You take the ace, put it in the middle, and it genuinely can go in the middle. Then you can give the deck a complete mix. It can be a riffle shuffle, or it can be an overhand shuffle. Here, I'll even give it an overhand shuffle and another overhand shuffle. So that's fair. Then you take another ace, the ace of hearts, give that an overhand shuffle, give it another overhand shuffle. So be completely fair there. I could give it another shuffle, but I will not. Actually, I will. I'll give it a couple more cuts like that. Now, after that, the audience can place both black aces right here so they can see it. Oops. Those aces were on the fly. Look at the aces there, and then I'll give it a Hindu shuffle. So completely fair. Now, I do believe that the first ace, the ace of hearts, is going to be in this packet right here, the top half. And let's see if I'm right about that. So I know it's not going to be the bottom card, this card, but it's going to be this. Sorry. I guess that's strike 1, because that should have been one of the aces. You know what? Instead, here, I'll take this. Since then the red aces must be in this pile since it wasn't in here. So, let's check. It's not gonna be here, but it's gonna be here. Oh, again, I'm sorry. That's strike 2. I guess I should give you a try. I've got the cards here. What I'll do is I will go through them. Just say stop anywhere. Stop. Okay. I'll turn those over and I'll look through them. I'll take that card. That was the card you stopped at. That's super fair. Super fair. Now, what we'll do this again, actually. What we'll do is we're going to have you say stop again somewhere. Let's say they say stop here. You go through again. I'm going to be so careful. I'm not going to do anything weird. That's the next one. Then I'm going to go through the cards again. They say stop. Then you look there. That's the card they stopped at. And one more time. Say stop there. Okay? Again, this is completely fair. You don't do anything weird or anything suspicious. Because all the cards, all of them are different. Like, this is different, this is different, this is different. All are different. Not all of them are aces. But somehow, you managed to get the 4 aces. And that is incredible. Isn't that amazing? Like, boom. That is so good. And it's essentially an ace production, but it's completely impromptu. I won't talk about it anymore. It's so good. I won't talk about it being impromptu because I've said that with everything. But just a note, everything in this project is impromptu. The only thing is the deck ends a little bit dirty, which is slightly unfortunate, but that can be easily cleaned up. This was the move I used to clean up. I showed everyone the deck was made up with all different cards. I'm not gonna tell you how it's dirty, like what happened, but that's all I will say. Now, I must say that some decks work better than others with this trick. And I say that because I was performing with this dollar store deck. And I noticed some flashes. I'm not going to say why. I feel like a lot of professional magicians will know why. What's the difference between this deck and this deck? But, yeah. This trick works best with certain kinds of cards, like bicycle. I'm not going to get any further into that. And while there are some breaks and sleights, the sleights are easy. And if you move your hands and don't put too much vision on the sleights as you're doing it, do them on the offbeat, then this trick has no angle issues. The angles are covered. This trick is intermediate. Now let's talk about the teaching on this one. So the teaching is good. However, for beginners, as I mentioned, some of the moves and sleights stated may not be understood by you, which shouldn't be a turn off because you guys can easily find most of these sleights on YouTube or from books, which I recommend. Actually, you can find all the sleights from YouTube and books. I love this trick as well, as it leads you into an ace routine. My ace routine consists of discarded aces by Inaki Zabaleta, as well as Harapan Ong's ace production found in Optics. Let's get into the review of the final trick, which is called You Make the Sandwich, and it's based off of David Jonathan's gimmicked Sovereign Sandwich, which, yeah, it uses a gimmicked, but this doesn't. And Sovereign Sandwich costs $15. That's more expensive than this whole project. So let's get into the performance. Boom. So, what you do is you take out the 4 kings, okay? Take out the 4 kings, and what you do is you have the spectator pick a card, for example, this one, okay? And then you give the deck a bit of a mix. Completely fair. Then you can even give it a riffle. And now what you do is you take the kings, put them on top, and then you ask, as you turn these over, do you want the red or black kings to find your card? Let's say they say red, or black, actually. Then you put the red kings in first. Then you take the black kings, and one by one, you put those in the middle of the deck. Then, after that, what you do is you ask your spectator for a number between 5 and 25, and then you give the deck a shuffle. So that's completely fair. And actually, what you do next is you give the deck a wave, so for this trick to work, because if you don't give it a wave, the trick won't work. And again, you ask your spectator for a number between 5 and 25. Let's say they say 13. So what you do is you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If this card was your card, how crazy would it be? Was that your card? No, but it was so close. Okay, I guess I was wrong. But I'll leave the kings to finish this up. I give this to the spectator, snap, and then have them cut the cards, then cut the cards, then cut the cards. And then they can go through the deck, and I'll show you. Sandwiched in between the black kings is their card. That is the trick. That is insane. Because think about it. They could have said a different number. They gave the deck the cuts. They could have done anything. And they had a free choice for everything. So first, let's talk about the teaching. The teaching is relatively easy to understand. And this is kind of what I was talking about. There are a couple of moves that you may have to YouTube and Google with this effect, but it's a very powerful effect. Now, one con I think exists here is that why do the kings have to be face down? I feel like the sandwich would have been more effective if, for example, it was 2 kings like this, right? Just 2 kings. And then you showed it was 2 kings, and then you made it a face down card appear inside of the face up kings, because then it adds some contrast. But that's not the case here. I still think the trick is great. No angle issues. Well, you can't be seen from below, but other than that, the angles are pretty good. You're pretty covered for this, and I'm really happy about that. You don't end dirty, you start clean, and I feel like the trick by David Jonathan is so good, but this makes it even better, because the price of David Jonathan's effect is $15, I believe, and this is so much cheaper. And let's get back to the review of the whole product. But anyways, here's the review. Let's first talk about the ad copy. The ad copy is very honest. In fact, I'll read it right now. It's on Shuffle the Deck. The point of this project is to share my impromptu versions of card tricks that require a preset. Reverse border, impromptu aces, and you make the sandwich. And then it just explains those tricks. See, So very, very honest ad copy. Now, next, let's talk about the price. The price. Oh boy. Oh boy. And I say that in a good way because this is only $6. $6. I repeat, $6. And you get 3 tricks. 3 tricks. And the sandwich effect alone is worth $15. This is such a good deal. This is such a good deal. J-Jack is so generous, so kind. Now let's get into the pros and cons. So the pros, the price, honest ad copy, great effects, great reactions. Now the cons, there aren't any cons other than, I'll just say, some minor issues, some minor discrepancies with these effects, and the fact they don't look as good with different decks. Now that's not really that important. And one last negative thing, and this isn't even really that bad, is that it's an ebook. It's not a video download. And that's unfortunate, but it's fine. But I just wanted to let you know, if you learn better on video, then maybe this project isn't for you. However, I'm still really happy about it. What do I rate this? I'll rate this a 97% because the only reason this lost marks was because not all of the moves are really taught in detail, but I knew all the moves before. However, I know some magicians that are just starting out, such as my friend. He might not, or just a bunch of different magicians that I know all of these, but just a couple of people who I also know will not know what these moves are. So for that reason, I give this product a 97%. I really like it. Pick this up. I guarantee you, you'll love the effect. Well, I can't guarantee you that because anything's possible, but this is a really great trick, and I feel like it's extremely underrated. J-Jack's website, Shuffle the Deck, is extremely underrated. Again, I'll post links in the description to all of them, but I highly recommend giving this a chance. You probably won't regret it. It's $6. That's cheaper than you could ever ask any Penguin Magic download to be. Or, well, I know there are a lot that are cheaper, but I know this is cheaper than a lot of Penguin Magic downloads because most of them cost $10, but this only costs $6. And you get money back guarantee and a discount to another one of his PDFs or ebooks. Thank you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope I brought this product under your radar. If I did, please toss this video a like or subscribe. It really does help me out. Or just consider doing that. Thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye.